Hey guys, it's Megan Lynn here. I was just on video 3. I was trying to get my astrology one going, but of course I'm having technical difficulties with my printer. That just happens to me a lot. So I decided instead I did receive a random email from somebody in India. I get a lot of followers from India for some reason, but they basically were asking me what I thought about other races. So um, if you guys have ever researched or anything like that, there are people who have theories that they come from different planets. We all come from different planets or different hybrid species, anything like that. So they were asking me what I felt about specifically reptilians. I know that's kind of been like a fanatical thing. Some conspiracy theorists have actually been researching or think that, the higher ups in the government, they're reptilians and they're running, they're overlords and they're kind of running the country. So I did think specifically reptilians as far as different species or different races from different planets. I do believe, this is an infinite universe, that pretty much anything's possible. Kind of the more I delve into things and the more I kind of get more in touch with my truth, the more I realize the less I know. So I'm kind of always evolving my truth. I'm always finding out new things. As far as people claiming that they're from different planets, I definitely think that that's a possibility. I have had clients as well as different colleagues throughout the years come up to me and claim they're a Syrian being, the dog race, or Lyran, or something like that, or that they come from different races from Atlantis or Lemuria, or different things like that. I know that I have talked to these people. They have been pretty gifted intuitives. So maybe they did like past life regression to where they saw some other life on some other planets, being some other race. I can say I didn't notice anything really distinct about them. Other than that, most of them are really gifted. I get a lot of people around me who say that they're Syrian. As far as my truth to that, I didn't see anything significant, but if that's their belief, I obviously go along with it. What I can say is specifically about reptilians, I'll kind of elaborate on it a little bit, and it kind of is a way to make it sound a little less out there. So as far as reptilians specifically, I have kind of looked into those conspiracy theories. The problem is, I feel like with anybody claiming anything's a reptilian, they're very fanatical when they do it, and it's a lot about delivery and fact finding and research and things like that. So I do have experience with a couple people who claim that they were reptilian. Two have actually communicated with over the internet, and then one was in person. So for those of you who don't know, our DNA is actually split. So our DNA is split with mammalian and reptilian DNA. So if that kind of gives you an idea of what the literal inner struggle is, reptiles and mammals do not coexist together, and they actually have completely different ways of being, completely different ways of living. Mammals are nurturing, they take care of their young, they nurture the weak and the sick, they take care of their own, whereas reptiles are the complete opposite. It's basically sink or swim as far as the offspring go. Their only needs are fight or flight, reproducing, eating, just basic functionality. To kind of give you an idea, the actual base of our cerebellum is reptilian. So that's going to give us our fight or flight instincts, which is the literal only feeling that really affects me negatively. That feeling will stay for hours if I get into a fight or flight reaction to something. So I'm always being very conscious of that part of my brain being activated for emergency situations, anything like that. But that is something that will physically harm me, and that's because it's one of your lower vibrational capabilities or reactions. So that's a base of your brain. Also, fetuses in the womb, they actually resemble reptiles. So they actually grow a tail in the very beginning of forming, and then during the development, that tail goes away. So as far as what I feel specifically about like a reptilian race or things like that, I have met a couple, and I can say that, well, 3 specifically, one in person. We actually corresponded for probably a couple number of weeks, but I can say that there was distinct similarities in all three of them. The one that I met in person, I knew pretty much what he was right away. They do have a certain air about them. It's not an entitlement. I can't really explain it, but they do have a certain air and a sort of, their voice is very melodic. You could literally listen to their voice all day, or you could listen, I used to joke like, oh, I'm gonna make a soundtrack of it so I could fall asleep. But very kind of calming nature. They also are extremely telepathic. So I've had telepathy with certain people that I can tune into. It's nothing special. It's not any crazy like superpower. It's usually something stupid, like they're trying to think of, you know, if they should have the meatball sub or a turkey sandwich for lunch, and then I'll usually like reply without them asking and say, oh, the meatball sub sounds better. And you know, it's nothing like amazing. It's kind of like a sucky superpower. But with these beings, I've actually had intense telepathy where we could actually have full-on conversations. We would know what was going on with each other. We didn't have to actually like verbally communicate over text. Sometimes if it was texting, it would be an instantaneous response to a question I hadn't even asked yet, or something I hadn't mentioned yet. So extreme telepathy, anytime that they tune in, anytime before they're trying to reach out or contact, I would get like a ticking in my ear. So that is something indicative with all three of them when I was doing some of my like research on those kind of races. So as far as me thinking that people have you know, that there's reptilian races, that there's different races, I definitely do believe that there's truth to that, and that's just from my experience. And I also believe that because we do have that split DNA, that there is a possibility that some people can carry that gene more than others. And I have seen that from firsthand experience. I can't say that they did have a lot of similarities in the way that they were. And there's also a really weird aspect to their eyes, and it's something I can't explain. It's not slit for eyes, but it's something around the iris of the eye that's definitely unique, and it kind of draws you into the eye. So I can say I do not you know, I don't fear anything, I don't judge anything. You know, I'll pretty much converse with whoever as long as it's you know, something that's safe. A lot of them seem to be drawn towards Luciferianism, which if you guys don't know what that is, Luciferianism, it's not Satanism. It's not like devil worshipping. It's literal like Lucifer, the actual previous archangel before he was cast out. What I do find from that is with the Luciferianism, it can be very manipulative. So if you are conversing with these individuals and they start talking about anything like that, they will try to kind of try to sway you into seeing their way. And it's not in a way that you're just conversing about you know, different religions or things like that. Like they really try to see they try to get you to kind of embrace that false light. And I do say that it's a false light because it is, but you know, as far as that goes, they tend to have a lot of negative entities around them, lower level entities. They're not anything, they're actually intimidated by people who vibrate very highly because they're not used to something more powerful than them. Reptilian, the people that I've had experience with have really fed into those entities thinking that they're things that are aiding them, and they're really not. And they're very adept at opening portals. So they're very aware that they're being watched, or they're very aware with connecting with the otherworldly. It's kind of like a darkness. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions about like different races, I've done a lot of research on different kinds. Specifically, that's my thoughts on reptilians. So I hope that kind of satisfied your answer kind of the best of my ability. I don't have a lot to say about it. I know a lot of people don't have experience with it, so I'm just sharing what I've come across so far. So if you guys have any other questions about different races, or any sort of heritage questions, or things about past life regression, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. You can feel free to email wmegan, MEGAN 939@gmail.com, and then hopefully I'll be posting up more videos very soon. Again, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a good football Sunday, and we'll talk soon. Bye.